So I have here a little bit of a snippet of a flower that it's just a wildflower I live on a lake, so there's just a bunch of wildflowers and like large grasses growing beside it. So I got this from there. It's nice. Anyway, very cute. Pink. Apparently invasive, according to my mother, but who cares when they're pretty? So, start with this. We're gonna start light to dark because that's watercolors. Can't really go back. So we're gonna get a very, very light pink, probably more water than pink, just to start on the palest part of those little florets, I guess you could call them. And since there's so many of them, I'm just gonna dab them around, you know? And my brush was not completely clean. Yeah. So once again, just some dabbing around. Okay. That is too much color, but what can you do? Just attempt to pick it up a little bit, maybe, with a slightly drier brush. No, not happening. Fight. Very nice. So from there, I'm seeing this at an angle that you are not, but there's a little stem that comes up right here. So I'm gonna just go on for that, test out my colors maybe, and then slowly make that little pinkish stem. Perhaps dabbing in slight amounts of green. Just cuts. And then there's the second part of a stem. It's again this kind of woody brown color. And that makes these florets, which as you can see are little buds, are really a lot more saturated in color. And so we'll reflect that. And that really reads more as purple, doesn't it? Well, here's to hoping that's just my lighting, folks. Okay, so then we're gonna make this lovely leaf here, which is just nice and long and thin. Just, you know, painting what you see as you see it. With botanicals, I find it a lot easier to do wet into wet than I would in, say, a much more detailed piece. Well, these are detailed too, but a much more illustrative piece like the ones that I'm doing for Gissing. as those ones that involve backgrounds and multiple washes and a lot of things that are touching each other instead of just these nice little hue shifts that I'm putting in almost as a second thought to our lovely little leaves that are going on here. Okay. Now that we've got one done, we're just gonna, do the rest of these leaves. And we're gonna be very careful to not touch our still very wet little flowers we've got going on. But never fear, it'll still look real nice even with the white gaps. So, these are really much more yellowish. Coming up on our last little leaf here. This one's a little darker because it's in the shadow. And well, we're almost there. That will be the last of the leaves. Maybe dabbing in a bit more color around here so that we can get in that shadow, huh? Okay, so let's add a bit more of saturation in these bad boys, huh? This piece of wood is going to be so full of watercolors. Anyway. Now very, very delicately, to make these tiny little stems. And voila! We have a little flower. Too brown for this. So yeah, that's a rough little tutorial on how I do flowers. I hope it was at least somewhat helpful. Like I said, left-handed, but yeah, so kind of just gotta paint what you see. I would say to specifically emphasize perhaps a little bit of color shifting by going in with a wet on wet technique and just, you know, adding in some little hue shifts. It just really makes them look very visually interesting and, you know, just really cool. Anyway, have a great day.